more importantly to my point right now, PGMOL in 2020 made the decision to take David Coote for the best part of 4 years off of Liverpool matches. So to suggest, and I agree with almost everything Simon ever says, but to suggest that this is a singular issue and there's no empirical evidence to suggest this corruption within the PGMOL is just fundamentally wrong. If they knew about this video 4 years ago and only decide to take action once it becomes in the public domain, that questions everything about the corruption, the integrity, about the PGMOL from the bottom to the top.
Hit the like and the share button, people. Please don't forget to do that. The PGMOL were under massive fire last week, and you've already seen the media cycle start to turn. Fans still want to talk about this. Fans still care about what is going on with the officiating of our game. But the mainstream media in the last few days have started to bury the story, and anybody that wants to now talk about it is being shut down as almost being inhuman. I want you to take a listen to this series of videos. I'm going to give you my opinions, but of course, more importantly, to the Football Terrace community, please leave us yours in the comment section below. Here's a Liverpool fan calling up to state and saying to Simon Jordan, essentially, that Simon Jordan has played down the idea that any untoward is going on behind the scenes. There is no corruption. There is no cover-up. They didn't know about this, any of these situations with David Coote or any other managers, and said there's no evidence of any kind of corruption, any kind of bias, any type of grudges that referees may hold. That is what he's being accused of here by this caller. Let's get back into it straight away.
Why do you use the word corruption? I mean, what benefits is it? What benefit is it to the PGMOL? Disadvantage to Liverpool.
What's the benefit of hiding it? What's the benefit of hiding it? I'm not just talking about Liverpool here, because we could talk about every Premier League manager and every referee. But let's just suggest for the moment that it is just David Coote. Then why would the PGMOL hide that information for 4 years until it's
I love what that man said there. I love, as a Liverpool fan, what he has done. He went, this isn't just about Liverpool, and this is what they're trying to do. It's just been caught here. Bang. I've said it for years. Football fans, stop making it about your club specifically, solely. There is no corruption of, they're screw Liverpool. Do you know what? They're screw over Arsenal. Do you know what? We've got to make sure that Man United don't win another Premier League. I don't believe there is a direct plan to damage a singular club. That isn't what people are calling out in this example. And well done to this caller for saying this isn't just about Liverpool, because he is spot on.
Into the public light by whoever's put it there. What would be the benefit of doing so?
Again, I'd ask you the term.
See, look, Simon's being asked a question here. Why did the PGMOL stop David Coote from refereeing games for 4 years? If they didn't, again, there are reports now from credible journalists that this video was known to them. They haven't let him referee those games. He's done some bit parts. People are stating that shows that corruption is going on.
Technology corruption. I mean, ultimately, there has to be an ultimate beneficiary as a result of corruption. When you do something that you corrupt people with, it's because you're getting an outcome. Who benefits from this? And
it's a great question, who benefits from this? And nobody, I think, is... There are some people with tinfoil hats. Nobody is thinking that the PGMOL are being paid millions of pounds by the Premier League to screw teams over. The corruption that people are talking about, and again, corruption takes many forms. You've only got to do 5 minutes of research just into what the word in itself means, okay? And of course, it means dishonesty or fraudulent conduct by those in power. Now, some of this may just be corruption to the point of, if this comes out, in terms of if David Coote's situation comes out, if other referees' grudges against certain clubs, fan bases, managers becomes public knowledge, if we admit there's a problem, the PGMOL may lose control. The FA, the Premier League, may lose control. They are all pushing so hard to not have any kind of independent adjudication, any kind of independent regulation of the industry. That is what they are protecting. So when mistakes happen, they double down so hard to cover it up. It means obvious to us, the fans. Nobody in their right mind thinks the corruption is about, let's pay these referees loads of money to ruin Liverpool's season, to ruin Arsenal's season. but it's about the protection. And for me, the altercation, the doctoring, the manipulation, the consistency of that I see from the PGMOL over individual decisions, right down to the evidence. And again, we've seen it on Gary Neville's podcast. We've seen ex-referees all talk about grudges they had, how they took their biases or annoyance at a certain manager or team or their fans into the next games and held it against them. For them to say there's no evidence of this is crazy. Imagine what the PGMOL know. So look, I just think Simon Jordan has got this completely and utterly wrong. There is 100%, in my personal opinion, a level of cover-up going on here. There is a lot more at play than just the David Coote situation. And I've kind of moved beyond David Coote now. David Coote's situation is what it is. We know what he is as a person. We know he's got his issues. He should be taken care of for that. But we can't just shut down this conversation to protect David Coote. And I want to play this next video, because this next video for me is really, really key, where Lewis is asked a question here, Darren Lewis that is, about the welfare. Take a little listen.
I just wanted to talk about your responsibility, or the responsibility of journalists in this situation. You're assistant editor of the Daily Mirror. Darren, when does it get to a point where you go, actually, we should back off here a bit? This is getting bigger than us and bigger than the story, and now this is a human being's life at stake. Does that point come?
It's a really intelligent question, Charlie, and I'll tell you the reason why. Anytime everyone ever asks me about the responsibility of the media, I always say this: we are all the media.
Have you noticed how journalists will say we're all the media when it suits their purpose? But yet, these same journalists attack fan channels as an example every step of the way and basically say we're not the media when it also suits them. I like Darren Lewis. I've read a lot of his articles. I've listened to him speak a lot of sense. But this for me is crazy. And I believe there's an underhand tactic to this, okay? And what this underhand tactic is we're getting pressure put upon us by the powers that be, the people that give us access, the people that give us stories, to bury this. And they're going down the lines of David Coote, the human being, we must leave him alone. And there's a very simple answer to this. Well, let's leave him alone then. But we can still talk about the wider problems at the PGMOL. We still need to talk about all the other anecdotal and empirical evidence that is in the public domain about grudges, biases, and the covering up of this. We need to speak about independent regulation. We need to challenge, without prejudice, against the inconsistencies that we see in the officiating, in the explanations. So, okay, we are all the media. Let's just accept that for a moment. Let's take it away from David Coote, the human being. But let us not bury this story. Because I've said it for a few weeks, the whole of last week. The Arsenals and the Liverpools, as soon as the football returns, they're going to be questioned about this. And the media are going to try and set this up in a way where when Arsenal, when Liverpool, when Man United, when Chelsea, when Wolves, when Forest respond to this story and call it out, they're going to twist it into, you're creating a witch hunt. That is going to be the response of this now, as they try to bury this story, as the mainstream media I would say 80% of the mainstream media have protected Coote, protected the PGMOL so far, and I'm actually not as shocked as I probably should be.
And whether or not you're questioning his integrity as a result of that, I think he wouldn't be alone in the comments that he made specifically about Jürgen Klopp, because we know what Klopp was like on the sidelines.
Crazy comment. So calling, xenophobically abusing somebody is... Oh, do you know what, though? Klopp was a bit of a dickhead. He went over the top, so it's okay to call him a German... Fucking hell! What are we doing here? What is this? What did I just listen to? And again, Natalie Sawyer, this is a top-level broadcaster. Listen to her for years. Respect what she does. That for me is a madness of a comment. What David Coote recorded and put out is indefensible.
This latest video...
Is indefensible a word? I'm not as educated as someone like Natalie Sawyer, but I think it is.
Again, yes, you can question his integrity, because how has it impacted him in his decisions? Yes.
Yeah, somebody being away working and gets it out. Even if it wasn't white powder being shoved up his nose, just getting drunk a lot when you're away working is bad for your productivity, is bad for your decision making, is bad for your quality of work. And at the level we're talking about, it should be scrutinised.
But this is just clearly a witch hunt. And it's like, have we learnt nothing from the Caroline Flack incident, which was the worst thing that could have possibly happened to somebody?
It absolutely is. And the whole be kind thing is there. But this is my throwback to the mainstream media. Why do you pick and choose when you care about this? Why, when a manager is under pressure and every single newspaper, every single broadcaster is out there, bash, 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 twisting their words, manipulating what they've said, why do none of you care about how that human being feels? Why did none of the mainstream media care about Marcus Rashford this weekend? And by the way, it may not have been TalkSport directly, but it was their subsidiaries. By the way, The Sun, who put the story out, is owned by the same people as TalkSport. You're one of the same here. Why do they pick and choose when be kind matters? I agree we can move on from David Coote, but let us not shut down the conversation towards the PGMOL. Because that is the byproduct of this. It's to brush the whole thing under the carpet.
Who decided to take their own life because of the hounding that they received. So as much as you can say this is a news interest story, I'm not interested in it. I'm not.
You are not interested in a referee who is being scrutinised for having biases, who was pulled off of refereeing a certain club for 4 years, has also been taking drugs whilst away working. Other allegations that he was trying to arrange parties that would also have illegal substances at during football matches, texting people during the football match. Tonight we're doing to say that you're not interested. Again, you can criticize the professionalism without attacking the human being. That is doable. You TalkSport people do that to fan channels all the time. I've heard so many of you criticize what we do, but you're just attacking the industry. I don't really feel like you're attacking the personalities or the people, but that's okay. Your witch hunt against Don Robbie, that was fine, wasn't it? Not Natalie Sawyers directly, but that was fine for TalkSport to speak to its millions of people and basically say they're leeches and scumbags and they shouldn't be taken seriously. That was all right. The volume of videos about Ten Hag, that was all right. The volume of criticism that you guys give Arteta, that's okay. Forget how he feels when it's David Coote who's breaking the law, bringing the game into disrepute, where there's massive allegations of bias. We have to stop talking about it in case it hurts his feelings. And I understand that. But you can say, let's not talk about David Coote as a person today. I believe he needs to be sheltered and protected. I can get on board with that. Let's not shut down the conversation about the wider issue, though. Those two things can exist, in my opinion, at the same time. But as I've said for just over a week now, the likes of Liverpool, the likes of Arsenal, any club that comes out to talk about this, what's just been said here is going to be thrown straight back at them. They're going to be attacked. Any idea of cover-ups, corruption, bias, grudges is going to be hit. Is going to be absolutely, you're going to be attacked so bad by the mainstream media who, for one reason or another, and I'd love your opinions on this, are backing David Coote, are backing the PGMOL in this. And do you know what's disgusting in this for me? I don't want the person in David Coote to be overly attacked. I want the PGMOL to be the focus. And for some weird reason, they seem to be getting so much support through this. It's unbelievable. The big question is, why? Until next time, people, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Peace.